Okay, folks, let's see what we can do with this piece. See if I can make this into something nice, even though it's pretty boring as a picture. But it's something that's happening still, and it seems to have gone under the radar. And my care worker told me about this, that it appears to be coming back. She didn't say it like that, but it sounds like she was inferring it. But it's not a good thing, even though I had a gut feeling this would happen. But people don't seem to care anymore. They ignore it because it's been such a difficult, all-pervading thing that has been in the news bulletins and shit, and no one wants to hear about it, including the news people. But you can't ignore it for too long. You can't ignore the elephant in the toilet cubicle, folks, so to speak. But basically, yeah, it's going to be like that. Or maybe it hasn't gone quite beyond the room yet, but if it's left to go unchecked, it's going to be like the elephant in the toilet cubicle, which is a pretty tight fit for anyone. Enough of that. This is it. This is it. Also, this was from, trying to think when this was. This was December 2020. So we all remember 2020, folks. What a great year it was. It was a COVID year. And this COVID appears to be making a comeback. And we're interested in this article, or should I say the picture in this article. So yeah, COVID, I do believe, is coming back. And this person heard it somewhere or read about it somewhere. And she just confirmed what I already suspected, that this disease hasn't finished yet. People don't want to believe it's out there. They just want to fucking cover their ears and go la 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 la. You know, and that's just not going to make it go away. It's going to once again be the elephant in the toilet cubicle. It's going to be that bad. So, no, I'm just bracing for it. There were some masks going cheap, and I bought them. I bought a bunch of them going for half price because most people don't wear masks anymore. But you can't ignore the elephant in the toilet cubicle for much longer. Going to move it up and across. But basically, yeah, you just can't. Even though you wouldn't want COVID, we have to wear masks again. That's not going to go down too well with people. You know, they're not going to like having to wear them in the heat. I keep wearing mine because I just don't want... It's not just the COVID, I don't want to catch the cold or the flu either. And I tend to get it in the summertime, so that's another reason why I've resorted once again to mask wearing. Or I've kept them on since the COVID pandemic was indeed a big piece on the news. So yeah, I'm thinking it's going to make a comeback. Everyone's been so asleep in their lifestyle and they don't seem to care. They don't seem to believe that COVID can come back just because it hasn't been on the mainstream news for a long time. Got to move it down. Just because it hasn't been on the mainstream news for a long time, just because it looks as if it's faded away. Now this looks shit house. Got to move it down. Just because, you know, they just think that they can wish it away. But you can't wish it away, folks. It's only so long until it just becomes an issue again. I don't think this is working with the negative positive, to be honest, folks. I'm going to leave it on there anyway. I'm going to take out the brown. It looks shit house. But yeah, folks, brace yourselves, okay? Because it looks like we're in for another COVID coaster ride. You know, I'm not... So that's looking nice. A bit further down and on a bit of an angle. And then we might make a positive image out of it because negative's not working. Don't think this is looking too good anyway. I think more on the vertical. But yeah, you can only ignore it for so long, folks, and then it's just going to come back in the headlines again, and people are going to die. I'm sure the people who are immunocompromised or the people who are suffering from long COVID are still living the fucking nightmare, and yet everyone else appears to be living in the dream that this COVID is not going to make its way come back. But I don't think so, folks. I'm not going to fucking hold my breath and think that this roller coaster ride is going to be over for much longer. Oh sure, we might have had a break from it, oh sure, but basically yeah, we're not, I don't think we're going to be through with it until everyone gets vaccinated, or at least if vaccines have become more adaptive to the different versions of COVID. And I didn't turn that one off. I do wonder if maybe negative positive would work if I didn't have that turned up in the middle, on the end there. But basically, yeah, I don't hold my breath that we're going to be over COVID. I'm not holding my breath, folks. I'm not going to. I refuse to move with the people. You know, that everyone's ripping their masks off and everyone's thinking, freedom, 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 freedom. La, 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 la. Cover your ears and say, la, 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 la. There's no COVID, there's no COVID, there's no COVID. It's gone, it's gone, it's gone, la, 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 la. Bullshit. As if that's going to help. I couldn't cover both my ears because one was holding the phone. But you get my drift, folks. You get my drift. Yeah, the brown doesn't look too good. But basically, you know, we can't pretend that COVID's going to be gone, folks. We can't pretend. We can't just wish it away. We've got to fucking fight it, folks. You know, if you're going to... we should all get vaccinated. You know, if we all get vaxxed, you know, that'll mean, what's wrong with getting vaxxed? What's so fucking hard about it, folks? Yes, it does hurt a little bit. It's like, poor diddums, you know, like poor diddums, it hurt. So what? You know, it's just like any other needle that you get, you know. A lot of people don't seem to care about the flu vax either, even though people are getting sick. The flu is violent as well. And I actually had a flu vax done for now that's coming up with better. I got my flu vax a couple of days ago, yesterday I think it was, because I know that I tend to get the spring or the summertime flu, and I don't want to go through it. I don't want to get it because it's really knocks me round, and I'd rather be feeling better instead of having to deal with not just the fever is okay because I can take paracetamol, but basically I can't tolerate the breathing problems and the swallowing problems and the congestion and all that. So I have to fucking try my best to dodge the cold and the flu. I don't like the colour of that jacket thing. But basically I just really find this fucking stupid la 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 attitude to COVID really quite annoying. You know, like people don't want to wear their masks on the public transport, and they know that they're crammed in like sardines in a proverbial tin, they're likely to catch it. You know, someone's got it. Who's that knows that sniffle and that cough is not COVID? You know, sure, for me, I don't get the symptoms much, if at all. I'm very fortunate, but basically a lot of people get the symptoms and basically get violently ill. I find the flu makes me violently ill, so I try to avoid it. Why can't people do the same for COVID? Why can't they think, well, I don't want to catch this. I don't want to be locked away at home. Oh, lockdowns are no longer pretty well. I don't know. I think they still want you to stay at home if you've got it, just as much as people are advised to stay at home with the flu, but a lot of people take the flu everywhere, which really pisses me. But basically, yeah, I really finding that this COVID's going to come back with a vengeance. And it'll be a case of, I told you so, folks, I told you so. I fucking told you so, idiots. And that's come up looking quite interesting. I do wonder if we're going to do a switcheroo. Okay, we'll do a switcheroo, folks. But basically, I'm really over this. I don't like it when people don't wear masks because I don't want to catch the cold and flu, because they cough and splutter it everywhere. But basically, yeah, I'm really over it that people are just taking this la-di-da-di-da attitude towards COVID and cold and flu and all that just because they want to be free. I know it was a horrible period being locked down and all that, but fuck, we're going to get it over again, and you're going to be a case of I told you so, folks. Anyway, that's come up looking really quite interesting. I think we can now call this demo quits.